Hey y'all, so look, I was gonna do power. No, I really wasn't gonna do power. And I know I used to just talk about it in my what is, but y'all keep, oh my God, you haven't did power, you haven't did power. Did I say I was gonna do power? And I'm literally asking this because I can't remember. Cause it feel like I think I did, but I can't remember. I'm pretty. Did I say I was gonna do it? Cause I don't remember. Bitch, I don't remember. But anyway, before I get into the review, listen. Um, on the video that I put up for the blackout, to the lady who wanted to ask the question about how come it doesn't look like I lost any weight, even though it said I lost a lot of weight, and everybody else in the comments was getting you together because they felt that that was some shady shit. Yeah, I talk about other celebrities and stuff like that, and I put my own shit out there. I'll call myself fat in a minute. Everybody already know that. I know that. I'm content with it. I'm happy. Okay? But it's called progression, and weight loss is a progress, okay? It is a process as well. And I love the progression that I'm going because I'm losing weight naturally. I gained a lot of weight when I fractured my knee. So therefore I lost that weight plus I'm losing more weight, okay? And that's because I'm not taking supplements. I'm not taking dietary pills. I'm not getting surgery or whatever. I'm out here exercising my ass off, okay? I'm out here eating good food, healthy food, letting out that fried food, cutting out all the sweets and shit. I'm drinking a lot of water, eating a lot of vegetables, eating a lot of fruits and stuff, baby. That's what I'm doing, okay? So that's what happens when you lose weight. It don't just fall off like that, baby. It goes in a progression. It goes in a process. It goes gradually sometimes, and everybody is different. Okay, some people can lose like that, and some people it takes a little bit more work. But given that my doctors say I'm good, the scale shows that I'm good, that I'm progressing, and the fact that I, came down in some clothing size, and the fact that I feel so much more better than I felt last year, I say I'm pretty damn good, and I'm not even a year into this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I hope that answered your question. You know, if I had an issue with the fact that I'm still a big bitch, I wouldn't have put the picture up. Were you at the blackout? I just want to know, because if you were, you could have asked me that. You really could have asked me that. I don't know what type of response you would have gave because I was drunk as shit, but you could have asked me that. But anyway, moving on. Um, since you want to be nice and nasty, I had to give it back to you. Okay, but anyway, child, and then gonna delete the comment. I had a response waiting, girl. I was gonna tell you all this in the response. I won't have to mention it here. Why delete the comment? But anyway, moving on. So Power season 3, episode 1. I was so worried that I wasn't gonna be able to see it on time because, you know, my hotel had every other channel but Stars. And I said, ain't this about a bitch? And y'all was like, you know what? It's on the app and stuff. And I said, I just watched that on the plane and all that stuff then. But, I watched it over at Wade's house. We all watched it together. And Power is coming back strong. Okay, this is one of the shows that we all been looking for. People go and get subscription to fucking Stars just to see this. And then when it goes off, cancel that bitch. All right. So, y'all know the shit that's been going on. Ghost is trying to get out the game. Ghost don't want to be Ghost no more. He want to be James Sinclair. Is it Sinclair? St. Francis or whatever the fuck. He want to be James, okay? Tommy is his partner from childhood. He's that type of person who don't see it for himself to be anything other than a so-called gangster, okay? That's what he wants to be so bad. And I don't understand. I hate people with that mentality. They don't see no growth. They see themselves, that's only what they're good at. It's being in the streets and stuff like that. So he made a deal with Lobos to kill Ghost because he knows that Ghost put that hit out on him. But what he winds up telling the Angela and the other detective is that these Jimenez brothers or whoever, this other cartel who he said been after him for a long time, they the one that put the hit out on him and tried to kill him. And they did a sloppy job at it. And that whole scene, I'm fast forwarding a little bit. That whole scene with Lobos in the confession interrogation room, that shit was so hilarious. Like if you didn't know that he was gay, man, he let his flame card out, okay? He was all doing the gestures, I was just like, And he was just being so rude to Angela. Oh my God, you got your hair did. You know, you got a little cut. You look different from the last time I seen you across this table. Why do you work, okay? A bitch like you needs to be hauled up with somebody who got some money and just making babies and clean up the house and all this stuff. And all this other shit. I just said, rude. Just so rude. And let me tell you something. I don't like Angela like that. But you know who I can't stand the most? I can't stand Holly. Holly has to go. Okay? Angela, she's sneaky for a reason because she is trying to protect her job. At the same time, she is in love with somebody that she did not realize was a criminal and who they was looking for. Okay? And her heart is torn. So I understand that. But you willingly got into a relationship with a man who was married, okay? You knew he was married. You knew he had kids. And did you hear that part when they was laying there and talking and she said, I think it's time I want to meet your kids? You want to meet who, girl? You're the other woman, all right? You broke up his relationship. Well, he allowed it. So, you the other woman. Tasha ain't finna go for that. Not yet. Not now. Not ever. Not soon enough. Okay, girl? You tried it. Angela, stay in your place for right now. You know, at this point in time, I can't really tell if Angela is really trying to protect Ghost, aka James, or is she playing both sides? Like, is she really trying, like, in the end, gonna, turn him over? Something about her is just making me look at her real close. Like, she very shifty because when they went to the club at the first time, at the beginning of the episode, we see Ghost and her going to the club, his club, and I think it's like one of the grand opens or whatever. And then, she's acting all supportive and did you imagine this would happen and all this stuff? And he was like, I wish I could stay with you all night, but I gotta go make this money. Go make my money, baby. I'm sitting here like, and then she turned, she got a gun in her purse. So I'm like, maybe she's like, I gotta have this for protection because this is the lifestyle that I'm finna lead now because I'm with this man and it's a whole bunch of danger that come around. But you know how sneaky she was towards last season when she realized that Ghost was James and how she was cloning his phone and all this stuff. And I'm just like, we gotta keep an eye on her because I don't trust her. I don't trust her at all. I will say that, she had Ghost back for the most part when she told him that Lobos was still alive because Ghost is the one that put that hit out on him. Ghost, remember in the last season, he was taking out all his enemies, all his people that was in his way, and he was trying to make it seem like it was a cartel hit by putting the using one of their MOs, which is like the playing card with the blood on it or whatever, making your time is up. Okay? And so when she did that, that's what made at first Lobos think that it was the Jimenez or whatever, but he realized and he knew that it was Ghost. That's how he flipped and told Tommy, got Tommy dumbass on his side to say what he had to say and try to get him to go kill Ghost. And he wanted Tommy to work and move his work and all this stuff and secure all this territory. That's what Tommy ass was doing in the beginning of the video. I mean, in the beginning of the episode, trying to, squash this beef and people encroaching on other people's territory. He killing people, bubble wrapping motherfuckers and pushing them off bridges, off ledges and stuff. And he really think he the man out in these streets. He wants to be Ghost so bad. He wants that power. Okay, that's the issue. And another thing that was going on is that the kids, Ghost kids, were worried about what happened to Sean. They know that he's dead, but they don't know why and they don't know how. So Ghost came over there and Ghost tried it too. He said, I just want us to meet up one day. The three of us. Angela, me, and you. Tasha was like, you ain't even talking about your kids. You want me to meet up with this bitch? Hell no. But eventually he do come over and have dinner and it's awkward. And they make up a story talking about how, Sean got killed by some people in the neighborhood. He was with the wrong people at the wrong time and all that stuff. And not everybody in the hood is bad, but, his friends did him in. And the boy was like, if they was his friends, why would he, why would they do that to him? It was like people turn, people do stuff, people do crazy shit. They get jealous and all this stuff. And I'm sitting here like, How y'all talking about people being criminals and y'all a fucking crime family and the kids just don't know it? You know, the little baby girl asking, so, Daddy, when you coming home? He was like, baby, I'm not. Ain't this about a bitch, Daddy? What the fuck is going on, Daddy? That's how she was. She was over it. And I'm just sitting here like, Because, you know, Tasha, she don't believe that, you know, it was Kanan that did it because she's not really believing most of the stuff that's coming out of Ghost's mouth right about now. She don't believe that, you know, Kanan is dead. She don't believe that Kanan killed his own son. And she had went and found Tommy and she was questioning him about it. And he was saying the same thing that, you know, he don't believe most of the stuff that come out of Ghost's mouth now these days either. But, um, you know, they just had to get that shit together. You know, Holly. Holly has to go. Holly needs to go now. I would not be surprised. Oh, they should have kept her locked up. Okay, casualty of war, my ass. She just needs to die. I'm sorry to put it like that, but she's doing too much and she's boosting Tommy's head up to make him big and bad. I'm like, you're going to get your man killed. You're going to get your man killed with your grifting ass. That's what you're going to do, okay? I don't trust her. I don't like her at all. Lobos told him, you got to make it that I'm not dead, that I'm dead, okay? And if you don't do what I say, meaning kill Ghost right away, I'm gonna then fuck up your family, okay? Child, one of them days, Tommy came up in the house and it was a trail of blood. The girl wasn't there, but the dog neck and everything was just slit all open. I said, that's disgusting. Where's Peter at? This is the one time we need Peter, okay? Where's Peter at when you need him? But he put that message out that he wasn't playing games, okay? And y'all know he liked that dog, or she liked it, one of them. But after that, child, uh, Angela, she basically risked her job trying to tell Ghost these confidential information about Lobos, you know, being alive and telling them what they're doing about making it seem as if he's dead, you know. And, you know, Lobos is in a predicament because he has no money. They froze his accounts and everything. And so he also told Tommy to, you know, put it out there on the street that he dead too. And so Ghost is not supposed to know this. The plan is getting fucked up because you got Angela on the inside still fucking with James and telling him what's going on. And now he looking all shook like, you know, I didn't do it right. Okay, I got to go back and fix the shit myself. Okay, you can't get niggas to do it. You got to do it yourself. Because at the end of the episode, Ghost was Ghost. Ghost was James for like a day, maybe a week, maybe 2 days, okay? And after that, it just said, fuck it, we back to Ghost, okay? Because he had to put in some calls. He tried to call Tommy, was like, you know, Ghost is, this is Ghost and all this stuff. I said, oh shit, it's about to go down. Explain to me, please, because maybe I missed something. When Ghost was in his office and he was looking in his camera and that girl that was the waitress or whatever, and she put that card on him. Oh, she put the card on there on his desk to show that, you know, he got a mark on him. Okay, somebody finna put a hit out on him. But explain why she had to get killed. And I like the way he did that. See, Ghost, this is why Tommy will never be Ghost. And Tommy will never be taken seriously as a leader because he is not leader material. He cannot, he just sees stuff and take it as surface. Ghost look deeper, okay? Ghost finds the littlest stuff and he puts the shit together. And he went to that girl's house or apartment, couldn't get in because she had a doorman. He called up there to her, said that she wasn't there, whatever. While he was doing all this stuff, he is surveying the area. He's observing and looking and found out that, you know, he take a break at this time. Okay, his name is Paul. Paul likes to smoke Newports. He had a pack of Newport. So, of course, if he takes his break at a certain time, he's going to go in the back and he's going to go smoke. That's what he's going to do. And sure enough, he had a pen propped up there so when the door opened up, it'll fall in there and keep the door open. And he snuck his ass in there and went to her apartment and found out that the bitch was dead. Okay, they did whatever they did to her. But, you know, that was that. I want to know why they had to kill the girl. Why they had to kill the girl. And look, what's the little boy with the fine boy with the big nose? Oh my God. Bertoni? That's his name in real life? Whatever. he's still playing both sides. And, Ghost wants him, he's trying to bring him under his wing. He wants him to go legit, because, you talking about something, I want to do something, I don't want to be out here hustling or whatever. I got to make it right for my daughter. But then you go and say, because Ghost told him, when we in the club, we go by your real name, okay? You go by, I'm James, and you're your real name, all right? And remember, this is what you have to do to make sure that you know that your daughter is safe and taken care of and all this stuff. You want to go legit. He was like, no, bro, that's not what I said. Because he was like, this is cool and all, but when we really going to get down with the get down, I ain't say I really wanted to get out the street. I'm sitting here like, so you another Tommy? Like, it just irked me. What you trying to do? But, Tommy, when he pushed them dudes over the ledge of that building, and then gonna show his face, and then choked up Julius, whichever his name is, girl, why would you do that? See, this is why you're not a leader. And then Angela saw Julius come up in there talking to Ghost about what was going on. And child, she remembered him, that tattoo, 718 on his neck. Okay, and I was like, uh-oh. She finna start piecing stuff together. What is he doing here? What is this and what is that? That's what happened at the end of the episode. But that officer that Angela used to mess with, they was going to fire him, but they said no, because she can file a sexual harassment, a harassment claim against you, because you following her and you doing all this stuff. You need to leave this shit alone. Let it go. Of course, we know something about her, messing around with Ghost, and he's trying to prove that. And she know that he's Ghost and all this stuff. He told them, okay, I'm going to leave it alone. Why he go up into the club, gonna talk to Kentos, and basically trying to bribe him, trying to use the fact that he's a cop to get some information out of him about James and all that stuff. And Kentos said, no, bro, if you want to talk to him, he comes in tomorrow and you can talk to him yourself so you can get the fuck out. But then the shit flipped. I said he was showing how loyal he was for a second, but then the shit flipped, because all of a sudden in one scene, Ghost, he having a staff meeting, and he was like, the new manager is somebody. He was giving out different positions, and he fired Kentos. He fired Kentos because he couldn't trust him because of all that shit that went down with Stern, And I was like, damn, now you're gonna have another one on your hands, because he know what you do and how to roll your business. He got all that shit out of him. He waited until Kentos gave him that guest list of Stern. And I guess that was everything that he needed after that. And he was just like, you're fired. He got rid of his ass. But this was a good season premiere. I cannot wait. And if I missed something, please put it down in the comments. And if we got some questions, put it down there, because I do got some questions. Like, I'm ready to piece all this stuff together. I cannot wait until Kanan pops his evil ass up. And you know it's coming. Y'all know it's coming. Baby, I'm pretty sure like by the middle of the season, Tommy gonna flip and realize that, no, he not gonna kill Ghost. Tommy is never gonna kill Ghost. Somebody might kill Ghost, but it ain't gonna be Tommy. But y'all tell me how y'all feel about the episode. And I will try to make this a weekly thing, okay? So you don't need to ask. And no, I am not reviewing Basketball Wives LA. I gave up on that show. I said that last season. No. And I apologize for the little, 2-minute rant in the beginning, but since the person deleted the comment, I really wanted to say what I had to say, so there you go. But yeah, y'all tell me how y'all feel, and let's discuss what y'all think gonna happen this season, bitch. Put your ideas, because I wanna see if we on the same track. And I'll see y'all later for Love and Hip Hop. Peace.